How does your time management affect others? Would you like to learn how to declutter your time? How can technology help save you time? Learn how to clear your time clutter as we continue our month focusing on time management. Do you control your clutter, or does your clutter control you? On Clear Your Clutter Inside and Out, we'll teach you awareness as well as action steps to create change in your life. Come on, let's get started. Today's episode was inspired because we can all use more time. Am I right? We can all definitely use more time. I'm kind of laughing as I'm recording these this week. I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and when I was scheduling it, and I know I talked in another episode about leaving time for opportunities. Some may call it leaving time for emergencies. I like to view it as opportunities. And so I have learned in the process of life to not overschedule. When I called to make the doctor's appointment, and I'm very grateful, and I have to have some surgery done. Really like this doctor, like the nurses, feel much more at ease because things that make me anxious for $1,000,000, that would be, what is anesthesia, Alec? And so I feel a lot more calm about that. And so I'm feeling pretty good. But the appointment was at 9, and we got there at 8:45 so we could check in, had done all my paperwork. And when scheduling, I said, okay, how long? I said a half hour. And so now that we're outside the city, and this was in North Raleigh, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I said, okay, so for the appointment's at 9, let's allow 10:15 just for whatever, but that'll get me back at 11. I can meet this person for a meeting at noon. Well, the appointment was over 2 hours, and I had to go get blood work. So even though I had tried to plan, now luckily my friend was able to do the meeting over Zoom, over video, and we're doing a mastermind. It was the two of us, so it worked out. But morning, noon, and afternoon appointments, thinking everything would square away. It ended up being okay. But that was the thing, like, oh, I've lost a couple more hours than I had anticipated. So I'm going to share one of the things that I recommend you do to save time I use today. But first, I'd like you to consider, how well do you manage your time? You think you do a pretty good job? Are you always feeling like you're behind? Or are you always feeling like you have too much time on your hands? I can think of one client because I saw her this week. She's the busiest person I know, and she's doing executive level work without the support. And so she has too much to do, but it's very rare that I see that with people. So how are you doing it when it comes to managing your time? How does your time management affect your coworkers, clients, friends and family, other people you do business with? Are you always on time, or are you causing their entire day to go late because you can't get there on time? Because, for instance, I don't know why the doctor was a half an hour, 40, 45 minutes late. I don't know, did someone else come in late? I don't know. But it affected my day. Has poor time management cost you anything, personally or professionally? Maybe it's caused you or someone you love frustration. They need you to be on time, and you don't show up, and they feel that you don't respect them or their time. Have you lost a job because you didn't show up on time? What has it cost you? And finally, ask yourself, what would you gain if you improve your time management skills? Less stress, more peace of mind, more time to do the things that you love. The last week I talked about time wasters. So you want to figure out where you're wasting your time and what your distractors are. It will benefit you to take the time to actually figure that out. Because once you say, okay, here's where I am wasting time, this is where I get sucked in for hours, how can I course correct? Dream a little dream. I think that Susan Boyle sang something about this. I love stories like this when People just thought she was a weirdo, and she came out and sang and had this incredible talent. To encourage you, to motivate you, dream, what would you do with all the extra time you have? I'd read more books for sure. I would make the time to get a massage. I would spend time decluttering. I would spend, definitely more time cooking, especially after the doctor this morning. I need to up my game. So motivate yourself. Think about what would I do? What would motivate me? Declutter your time. Now, at the beginning of the month, I talked about work-life integration versus work-life balance. So whatever you're doing, whatever program you have come up for you, take these and figure out where you could get them in and how they can work with whatever you're doing. So here are a couple of my suggestions, and I'm going to be really honest. The first two are my least favorite, but they can make a difference. Wake up early. Set your alarm clock 10 or 15 minutes earlier. I've shared this statistic that if you spend 10 minutes a day, that equals almost 61 hours a year. So if we know another half of that, you're looking at over 90 hours of time if you set your alarm clock 15 minutes earlier. Time your showers. Now, I'm a bath gal, but if I have to get going in the morning, it's definitely I do a shower. Set your timer for 7 minutes. 5 minutes or even better. Save water and save time. Because I'm the type of person, if I have to take a shower, I lose myself. I'm like, la, 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 and start thinking about things, and I could be in the shower for 20 minutes and not know it. So time your showers. Plan your outfits the night before. Now I have to do this less because when I had a 9-to-5 job, I've done this since I was a kid. And I did it because I didn't like to wake up early when I was a child. So I'd have everything laid out. I laid out because we had the doctor appointment at 9. We were out of the house by 7:40. I laid out what I was going to wear. I put it on a chair. We have a chair in our room. You can put it on a hanger on the back of the closet if you wear a suit. But take the time. And another thing you can do is plan your entire week. When I had a 9-to-5 job, I'd have an idea what I was going to wear. I'd look at the weather, get a general idea, and then I would plan outfits. So you can section off an area of the closet. You can I know they have hangers where you can hang 5 different outfits. Take the time to plan that. Never run one errand. Always do at least 2 or 3 errands. I never, ever run one errand. The only time I might do that is if I need meds and they aren't ready, and I go and because my doctor's so far away now, but the pharmacy's close. So by the time I'd leave them, but if they have a bunch, then it might not be ready. So for instance, this morning, I haven't had a check I had to deposit, and we have our account with the credit union, but I have my business with the bank, and there aren't a lot since I'm more rural now. The closest one from our house is probably half hour away, and it's inconvenient. It's not somewhere I'm going. So I was like, okay, we're going to the doctor. I know we're near an ATM because the doctor is where we used to live. And so we got there early, and there was a message for some of you listening about a thing that I didn't write down in the technology because it ended up saving us a bunch of time. So we got there early. I was like, okay, it's 5 minutes past the hospital. Let's go deposit my check. I have to tell you the funniest thing. It looked like, you remember those Cheech and Chong movies from the 80s or whatever they were? So this person, 2 cars ahead of us, ATM. I was almost ready. They're taking so long. I was like, do they know how to work an ATM? And all this smoke comes billowing it out. It looked like a scene from Cheech and Chong. But I knew, okay, we're going to drop off the check, deposit the check, go to the doctor's appointment, and the cats are finicky. Surprise, surprise. So I was like, okay, we're near the cat store where I got this food, and I can exchange all the pate because they don't want pate now. They want chunks. So I did that. So I did 2 errands because I knew I was going to be up in the area. So combine. And what I suggest is you do the errand furthest away. So we do a trio of, if we have to go to the warehouse, we do that. And then usually Target, and then Aldi where we grocery shop. And then Tony likes a we've got him off sugar, and so he uses stevia, but he is, oh my gosh, why we have cats. My husband is as finicky as a cat. So anyway, the Lowe's on the way home has it. So I always go farthest away to the warehouse, to Target, then Aldi, and then if we need to stop at Lowe's on the way back. So do the furthest one first and then come backwards. Make and use lists. I don't know what I'd do with that list. Don't try to remember everything. If you're on YouTube, I know I've shown this before. I've accomplished a lot on my list this week. So on my main page, I love legal pads. I have everything I have to do for my business and all the personal stuff on the left-hand side. You know, our brains are meant for creating and problem solving, not remembering. Jot down all the tasks you have to do. It's crossed off my list, but I had to iron. I made sure that was on my list. Don't use sticky notes. I try to say don't use them. I have a client that does that. It works well for her. I'm like, okay, it still makes me nervous, but those can fall around and get lost. Get off social media, TV, video games, whatever it is. You don't have enough time in the day. Examine that and just shut them down. Completely unplug. Cook enough for 2 meals. When I married my husband, he was like, I don't do leftovers. And I was like, not on my watch. He eats leftovers now. So cook enough for 2 meals. You can enjoy what you make tonight, divide it in half, refrigerate or freeze a half, and you have the other meal that you can enjoy now. One of the things I'm doing, one mainly for health reasons, I need to get better and lose weight, is when I go out, is I eat half of the meal and take half of the meal home. And so part of yes, it's to be healthier and to make sure I'm not eating too much, but quite frankly, that's one less meal I have to prepare for myself. Even though I have to prepare something from Tony, I'm okay with that, but it just makes life easier. Clean and organize as you go. If you make a mess, clean it up. Don't let the dirty dishes hang out in the sink all day. That's one thing sometimes a pot needs to be soaked overnight, but I'm trying to be really better. When I thought we were going to get solar, I'd switch the schedule because when you get solar in December, and of course there's less light, so I'm got in the habit, okay, you got to run the dishwasher in the morning instead of at night, take a bath late afternoon. I had this whole thing going on. But then sometimes there'd be dishes. So I'm like, okay, let's get all the dishes in the dishwasher. If you're in the shower, give it a quick spray. Vacuum the crumbs after you're done eating. You know, get in the habit of cleaning and organizing. And so you don't have to do this big cleaning thing. And it'll save you time. Get support. One of the biggest things I can suggest is have your kids do age-appropriate chores. A child can help fold. A child can put their toys away. Don't have that complete burden on you. You know, as they get older, they can help out with yard work. They can help out with cleaning. Utilize your kids. You can use something like ordering groceries and have them delivered if you're crunched for time. You can hire someone else to clean. Find different ways that you can be supportive and you can get some of your time back. You have all the answers you need within. Got Clutter, 365 journal prompts books, supports you in figuring out how to clear your clutter. Get control of your clutter so your clutter doesn't control you. Reclaim time, money, sanity, and resources. Choose from physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, holidays, or compilation volumes 1, 2, and 3. Free MP3 meditation with purchase. Learn more at reawakenyourbrilliance.com or purchase on Amazon. I suggest doing tasks such as phone calls, such as emails, do them in batches. So what I mean by that is don't make a call at 9, then have a call at 1. And I'm not talking about clients. I'm like, if you have to call and make a doctor's appointment, so check your emails maybe at 9, 1, and 5, right? 3 times, okay, I'm going to sit. Instead of when I used to, my last job at Outlook, and I hated it, like, ding, you have a new email, ding, you have a new email. And you'd see like new email because it'd be bold or whatever. Get out of that Pavlovian habit of always like, oh, I've got to respond. So you can decide, okay, I'm going to return or make calls in the morning and in the afternoon if I need to, and I'm going to do different check email different times a day. So when you tend to do things at the same time, you tend to be able to get through them more quickly. And the other thing you can think of, if you're doing something like work-life integration, if I had calls to make, I would throw in a load of laundry, or I'd get the dishes done, do my calls, and then probably the laundry's done and can go in the dryer. But consider adding some chores. And what I like about that, you get some stuff done, and it's the good mental break. Like, I know doing different things helps clear my mental clutter. Develop morning, evening, and weekend routine. I did a whole episode about that, just on routines, and made suggestions for that. But again, if we get in the habit of doing routines and do them at the same time or do them on the same day, we tend to get them done more quickly. But doing routines definitely helps save you time. Have an area to get out the door quickly. This may be where you place your keys, your purse, your coat, whatever works best for you. We hang up our keys. We put a little thing up where we can hang the keys, so it's right the door to the garage. Keys are right there, because if I don't put them in there, then I'm like, what, pocket? Anyway, I'm not good. So we have that set up. We also have a rocking chair in the living room, and how our house is set up. We have a big open room, and then right next to the little entryway, you turn left and you go laundry, then right into the garage. So it's right on the corner, the little rocking chair. That's where I put my purse. And if I'm bad and don't hang up my coat, I put it there. I come and be a good lady and hang my coat up outside my office. But my purse is right there in that rocking chair. Like last night, I put all the paperwork, I put the check, I put the cat food in the rocking chair for everything that I needed to run errands this morning. Have a place for everything. If you put the car keys in the same place, if you sign the permission slips and put them in the same place, if you have your checkbook in the same place, then you're not going to lose time searching for everything. They say the average person spends an hour looking for things. I believe it's sunglasses, keys, or some of the main things that people are always looking for. Think about that. Think about, as you go through your day, how much time are you spending looking for something? If you always put your glasses in the same place, put your keys in the same place, then you're going to save yourself some time. Have one to-do sheet, calendar, list of contacts, list of frequently called numbers. If you have them in multiple places, some might have partial information, some might have something else that you need. You're going to be spending a lot of time searching. Narrow all that stuff down to one, just one. Mistakes can be made when you have multiple copies. And again, it's wasting your time and it's causing you stress. Identify what needs to be changed. What are your biggest problem areas? As I've been making suggestions to declutter your time, are you always losing your keys? So that's where you need to course correct. Are you always trying to do everything on your own when you really need some support? Think about that. Consider what I've said and know, okay, this is where the priority number one, that I need to make an adjustment. Using technology, I wanted to share some tips. I know that I did an app last month. I believe I talked about apps, but I just wanted to share some different apps and technology can help save you time. Now, this wasn't on the list because I thought, oh no, they won't need this. But based on my experience this morning, Google Maps, or I know Waze is now merged with Google Apps. It is the best thing ever. So we took back roads. I'd never been this way. And we'd started, I was like, oh, I didn't listen to my intuition. We should have not gotten on the interstate, the freeway. We should have taken, anyway. So we turned off and I said, okay, I don't know where we're going, so put on your map. This saved us a ton of time. I'm like, wow, this is really interesting. I have no idea where I am, but I'm enjoying this ride. There's not a lot of traffic at 8 a.m. because it took us back ways. It's going to save you time. And because I saved time driving, I could run that first errand to deposit the check that was really far away. And the other thing we were able to see, because on the maps, because it's merged with Wade. So we're able to look at 40 and say, oh, looks like an accident. There's a couple red areas. Let's just try surface streets and see if we can use that. And every time that we've used Google Maps or Waze, we used it once when we were in South Carolina and hit a wall of traffic, took beautiful back roads. Once we were going to Asheville and there was stuff going on and it got us off, beautiful back roads, and we saved time. Rescue Time is an app with weekly reports that shows where you're wasting time. It's a time tracking software. So in one of the, I believe last week or one of the episodes, I talked about creating a schedule and trying to figure out where are you wasting your time. This is a software little app that's going to do it for you, which, that kind of might be easier for some of you. I'm not completely into technology. I do okay, but what I would do is block out a calendar. But for those of you that are tech savvy, it's called Rescue Time. Focus Booster enhances your focus and increases productivity, right? Because if we're distracted, we're not fully on task, we're losing time, right? Something that when I'm in the writing zone, I can pump it out. If I'm kind of like, oh, I'm writing social media posts and what am I thinking about this week? Oh, wow, there's the kitty. It's sunshiny. Okay, wait, I've got to come back and write a post, or, oh, look at the pretty picture. Focus Booster is going to keep you focused. And it uses something called the Pomodoro technique, where you focus on one task for 25 minutes. Mind 42 is an app for mind mapping. It allows you to organize and focus your thoughts. I did an episode 1 January, wasn't this past one, 9/10, maybe it's 2018, about mind mapping if you want to learn more. But there it is in a little app, and most of us are visual learners, so that might be something that you're interested in. Carbon Fin Outliner is a task list manager. It allows you to create to-do lists and track projects. I mentioned at the top of the episode, to-do lists, having that are one way to save you time. To-Do, and that's TEUX, DEUX, is another task manager with to-do lists that helps keep you organized. And play around, try out a couple. They have different features on each, and find out one that you're going to use and that will work for you. Focus at Will increases your attention span with instrumental music and increases your productivity. If you're someone that likes to listen to music, this might be a great option for you. Get a universal password, something like LastPass. When we upgraded the operating system on Mac, because I had these programs on a 32-bit, anyway, nightmare. Love my husband, he spent hours on the phone with Mac people. And so anyway, we had to go back and blah, 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 blah. I lost all my passwords, not all of them, a bunch. You have something like LastPass, what that one that I have to remember is one password, I have one password written down. It makes it easy. How much time have you spent trying to, what was that password? Or even if you have something like Keychain on Mac, where you have to look it up. So consider a universal password. Pocketbook is an app that allows you to bookmark pages, customize your reading, listen to audiobooks, text-to-speech, and read ebooks. So if you read a lot, I just recommended this to the client this week, then you're not stewing at the doctor's office. You have something to read when you're at the airport. Make good use of your time. Scan Biz Cards lets you scan and put your business cards into a database. I don't know about you, but when's the last time you looked through, I just called through all mine, but when's the last time you went through all your business cards? Make those easier, get them in a database, and recycle them. Dropbox. I'm having drama with my Mac. Had to use Dropbox to transfer to my laptop to be able to edit a video. You can easily transfer files back and forth and save time. Fast Customer eliminates your waiting on hold time. This allows you, it Like, you know how you say, press 1 for the doctor's office, press 2 if you're a physician, and all that. The fast customer blows through that. Adobe Sign and Adobe Scan. With Scan, you can scan your receipts, forms, pictures, make them in a PDF, especially if you're someone and has to travel a lot or travel for work and need to organize your receipts. That's really great to have. And Sign allows you to create, send, and sign file agreements. It's amazing to me how much stuff we sign electronically these days. But that's something that, instead of having to drive to an office, they can send you, you can sign in return. Gas Buddy, to find the best gas prices. Just punch in where you are and it says, hey, this has the best price. And then finally, Trip Log is an easy way to track your mileage. If you work and do a lot of driving, this is something, and again, have these in the app, and then when you have to get them to the accountant or when you're doing your taxes, all the information's right there. Take actions from today's podcast. Consider how well you manage your time. Contemplate how your time management affects others. Write down what you do with your extra time. Decide how you'll declutter your time. Use technology to save minutes, hours, and days. Declutter your time. On our next episode, we're talking about taking time for yourself. Go out, clear your clutter to create the life you choose, deserve, and desire. When you clear your clutter, you can share your gifts with the world. Sign up for our free newsletter at reawakenyourbrilliance.com. If you've enjoyed Clear Your Clutter Inside and Out, please rate, review, and share us.